Hello, my name is Jamal Sheets, and I'm thrilled to be the 2023 board chair of the Maddox Fund. The Maddox has gone through a massive transformation over the last decade. And in all seriousness, we've been rethinking the way in which we work with our community partners, the way that we engage our community, and also the way that we support our community. And so first, let me express our deepest gratitude to our partners that we spent countless hours listening to gain a better understanding of how we perceive and how we function in the community. And so with that, this year is somewhat of a pilot. We're going to be testing new ideas, and we've moved from a board that kind of, I don't want to say is a status quo, but moved to a learning organization. And so with that, we look forward to continuing our partnership and our effort to better support our community by moving the needle. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Melissa Gordon. I am grant chair of the Maddox Fund. And one of the things I really appreciate about the shifts that we've made in centering equity in our work is moving from traditional grant making to trust-based philanthropy. Part of those shifts include increasing our operational grants, also having more opportunities to work with our partners and move with community and doing more, increasing our opportunity funds as well. The Maddox board, I feel as though in the last few years also represents Nashville's diverse community in terms of demographic makeup from race to gender, sexuality, immigrants. We have a more diverse board that represents Nashville's diverse community. In 2023, we see that as a year of piloting some of the initiatives that we've shifted to. Again, going back to trust-based philanthropy, and so an opportunity for our nonprofit partners to tell us and inform us, does this work? When you think about trust-based philanthropy, sustaining long-term change in Nashville community, we really welcome your feedback and input in this process because it's not something we did for you, but something we're doing with you.
Hi, my name is Josie Gutierrez, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm one of the Maddox staff members. In this video, I'll be highlighting some of the grant-making changes we'll be making for 2023, and then at the bottom of each slide that I go through, you'll find a URL, and you can go to that first page for more details. I want to start with our vision for liberation. It's central to who we are and what we're doing, and reason why we're making some of the changes we are making for this year. So, Maddox is seeking a world in which people and planet flourish together in regenerative systems free from oppression and threat. We'll be making a few different types of grants in 2023. We'll continue making grants to programs and organizations and projects that do direct services work. One of the bigger changes that we'll be making is that advocacy will be a more intentional and larger part of our grant making for 2023. Finally, we'll also be making capacity and care grants. These will go to our nonprofit partners, helping them create the capacity that they need to do the work that they're doing, and then also to support their employees. Starting in 2023, Maddox will have two focus areas. The first is the environment. Underneath the environment, there are 4 interest areas: environmental advocacy, diversifying environmental leadership, hunting and fishing, and community-based nature programs. You can see more about how we conceptualize all 4 of these on the environment page. Our second focus area is youth. In the past, Maddox has looked at youth-based outcomes and education outcomes separately, but we'll be combining those two going forward. In youth, we have 5 interest areas: youth and education advocacy, diversifying leadership, post-secondary access. This includes not just 4-year institutions, but 2-year institutions and career and vocational and technical programs. Next, we'll be continuing doing youth services, and we'll also support out-of-school learning. You can find more on the youth page. Going forward, we'll have 3 grant processes. First is the RFP. This is our regular application that's available online through our portal. This is for requests over $30,000. In the past, we've had a deadline of January 15th. We're moving that back to March 1st. If you have any questions or want to submit a different kind of application, either video or a verbal application, we're open to that. Just reach out to the Maddox staff. The second way to receive funding is through the responsive grants. So for responsive grants, these include grants under $30,000, our opportunity grants, or capacity and care grants. What you want to do is when you're looking for interest in these grants, you'll just want to reach out to the Maddox staff. These will be reviewed on a monthly basis, but can be made quicker than that if needed. Finally, we got participatory grant making. The details for these will come out at a later date, but we do know that in 2023, we'll be piloting a second HBCU student cohort and an LGBTQ+ led student cohort. Both of these groups will allocate up to $100,000 in grants to the community. Maddox has also changed some of its eligibility requirements for funding. First, you need to be a 501c3 doing work in Middle Tennessee. Your organization has to have been operating for 1 year. If not, you can have a fiscal sponsor and we can help figure that out for you. Finally, we're supporting organizations with a lived commitment to racial justice. In addition to some of the eligibility requirements, here's what we don't fund. Organizations that proselytize or evangelize, organizations that are 501c4s, work not being done in Middle Tennessee, and organizations with primarily white boards of directors. We don't fund capital requests, endowments, debt reduction, or depreciation efforts. Both this and the eligibility requirements can be found on that eligibility page. Living into our commitment to equity and our North Stars, here's how we'll be prioritizing the grants we receive in 2023. First, we'll be prioritizing BIPOC-led organizations and LGBTQ+-led organizations with a race and intersectional analysis. We'll also be prioritizing smaller organizations with budgets under $5 million. We're also seeking organizations that are aligned with our values, so we're prioritizing organizations that are committed to racial justice, that have a commitment to environmental sustainability, and are focused on liberation and serving historically excluded and exploited communities. You're welcome to find out more of these on our priority page. Finally, here are some notes that might be helpful if you're applying for funding in 2023. First of all, we won't have any grant restrictions, but we actually do anticipate most of our grants will be between the $15,000 and $50,000 range. Also, we're going to continue using the common application in partnership with a few other local funding partners. Finally, if you're looking at collaborative work with a few different nonprofits, just reach out to Maddox staff. We might be able to make it easier on all the partners. And that's all I got. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Also, make sure to follow us on social media for all the latest updates. I'll be passing off to Kaki to finish off the video.
Thanks, Joseph. I really appreciate being able to work with and learn from you. And a special thanks to Jamal and Melissa. It's been wonderful to have a board that could take the time and the learning in order to change the way we think about the work that we do and think about philanthropy. We have a vision of a world where people and planet flourish together in regenerative systems free from oppression and threat. How we connect people and the planet going forward is going to be really important and is rooted in justice. For the past year, we've had a quote at the bottom of our agendas, and it says something like, philanthropy is to be commended, but let's not forget about the injustices in economic systems that make philanthropy necessary. And so we are trying to get at the root causes of injustices that perpetuate the need for philanthropy by looking at systems change work, movement building, and advocacy as part of our grant making going forward. I hope nothing has surprised you in this video. We've tried to be transparent throughout our journey, but we want to continue to get your feedback. We designed our new grant system or our grant process with the community in mind, and we hope that our partners and people who believe in the work of Maddox will continue to give us feedback. There's a couple of ways you can do that. One is we're going to have a number of Q&A sessions. We hope that you'll feel free to come to one of the Q&A sessions for some informal conversation and being able to clarify anything that you've heard today. But we also have an anonymous feedback button on our website. At any time you want, you can click that feedback button and let us know what your thoughts are, or send us important questions that we haven't considered that we should be thinking more about. Again, this is a process that we've done with the community. We believe in the Middle Tennessee community, just as Dan and Margaret did, and we look forward to partnering with you going forward.